Okay, so I'm gonna take a nice comfy seat here to talk to you about posture, okay? So this is one of those things that we all hear, we need better posture, our posture is bad and that's why our back hurts, all of these different things, but what's actually going on and what do we actually need to understand so that when we're working on our postural exercises, like our rows and our extensions and our Ys and anything overhead, what are we actually targeting that matters so that we're not missing the point of the exercise by not understanding the concept of the foundation, okay? So our posture is affected by many different things, but we're gonna talk about the three that are the most important, okay? So the middle of our spine, right? This slouchy guy, he's really, really important because he's the foundation of our shoulder blade, okay? And our shoulder blade is what allows our shoulder, okay, so our actual shoulder joint, our arm to move. This arm is only bonily, structurally attached by anything that's not soft tissue right up here, okay? So he is completely dependent on the tendons and the ligaments that attach him to the shoulder blade, the rotator cuff. And then those bigger muscles in the back, the traps, the rhomboids, that help stabilize that shoulder blade. The humerus, this long part of our arm, and the shoulder blade have complementary motions. And what that means is when one does one thing, the other one now can do another thing. And that's where this postural dysfunction comes from. If we are stuck in shoulder blade elevation and anterior tilt, we are going to be very limited with our overhead mobility, okay? Because what's required of the shoulder blade in order for our shoulder to flex is depression and upward rotation, okay? I can't do this with my shoulder blade forward and tipped, okay? So the biggest things that limit our ability to get overhead and have this nice pretty posture is a shoulder blade that's anteriorly tilted, which comes with arm extension. So this is the big one why with all of our postural exercises, we don't want to pass our body with our arm because now our upper trap has kicked in because he is one of our scapular anterior tilters. We are now no longer using all of these big postural muscles, okay? The other main problem with posture is elevation, and it tends to come with anterior tipping, okay? So that elevation is just this shrug. We need that to be corrected by these lower traps, our ability to depress that shoulder blade, okay? So if we don't have protraction, retraction, elevation, depression, downward tipping, forward tipping of the shoulder blade, this shoulder cannot do all of the things that it needs to be able to do, okay? So that's why we work so much on the stability and the strength and the mechanics in the shoulder blade for all of our postural stuff because it controls the arm, and if the shoulder blades sit in a nice neutral position, that's our neutral posture, head over rib cage over pelvis. Otherwise, we're here in this weird and uncomfortable place on a regular basis. And if we're not paying attention to where those shoulder blades are when we do things like our rows, okay? okay? This is not where we want to be. This is where we want to be. Or our V's. Again, we've passed our body. We're training these shrugging muscles. We're not training these mid-back muscles, okay? So you've got to think about where those shoulder blades are. Keep them down, keep them back. We have to have good control in all of these motions, which is why we train all of these motions individually and then pair them with larger things like bench press, push-ups, pull-ups, rows, any of that kind of punching stuff. Anything else that comes from the upper body, those little postural exercises that seem silly like the wall slide are setting us up to be powerful, strong, and safe in those bigger upper body exercises.